All right, Wayne Sorbelli here. A little easy country strumming. This is a picking hand workout exercise more than anything. You can use it to also help remember the chords, build some muscle memory here. We'll start with the D chord. That's the G string or the third string. Remember, we're counting this way: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The G, third string. Now, I don't want to have my hand parallel to the guitar. I want to come in and not perfectly perpendicular at a 90 degree. We want like kind of like a 45. In my hand, by doing that, it lines up my first and second fingers above each other, and I'm able to push the same fret on different strings here rather than trying to squish them in this approach, okay? So I got that. And now once my hand finds that spot, I use my middle finger here actually as a guide, and I roll my third finger right up off of it, and it usually plants itself right where it needs to be on that second string. Now, most grown people's fingers will be big, and actually hit the string under it here. Most grown men that I've taught before, myself included, it's hard to get the finger to avoid hitting the string below it. It sounds good without it. If that's as best as you can do, meaning that you're hearing this string ring out open, this note ringing out, this note ringing out. If this one under there, this note is muted at first, that's okay. You'll find the spot eventually if your hand's size will allow it. If it doesn't allow it, that's no big problem at all, because we can simply, as we go forward with lessons, you'll see that this D chord is the same D chord as this, and that's the one that we show to people that have big sausage fingers like myself, or bigger, and this is the same chord. One might have more treble to it because longer, skinnier strings ringing. This might have more mid in it, so the EQ is a little different to the ear, but the same chord, same exact notes, all right? Now, getting on to the picking hand part of the lesson, which is the point of it. While holding this D chord the best that you can, we're going to pick in a certain order that is the value to the lesson, okay? It's easier to build muscle memory, by the way, if you keep your hand on the guitar closer to the point of contact, so closer to where you're going to be picking, as compared to keeping your hand all the way over here on the guitar and then trying to memorize or get muscle memory for where that string is. It would be kind of like holding a pencil way back here when you're trying to write, and you would not be as accurate as if you hold it down by the point. You have more control over it that way. Same thing happens here. If your arm is only touching the guitar here and you're trying to find a string, it's going to be a lot harder than if your hand is on the guitar and you don't want to keep it right on the strings, or you can mute yourself out. But back here, past the saddle where they can rest on the strings there, then that builds muscle memory because your hand already knows the space inside of that area, the inside of your hand space, memorized over and over again. So take advantage of that by planting your hand, and even sometimes I like to keep one finger on the guitar. Well, just take a look at all your guitar heroes and people that played the same guitar for many years. They're all going to have a worn spot here. If they don't have a pickguard on their guitar, they're going to have a worn out spot from their finger rubbing on the guitar there. Every single artist that has been using the same guitar for a while, look them up. And even on their pickguards, you'll see it literally almost worn right through just from planting their hand there so often. Also, you'll notice if there's any chrome on the hardware or gold, that will wear off there because that's usually where people anchor over here with their hand to play like that, okay? So now we got the anchoring down and the point of contact. Now I'm going to talk about the actual strum itself. Remember, maintain that D chord. And now over here, it's a matter of accuracy, finding that first string to hit open by itself, that open D string, and then strum the chord out. So I'm going to pick the fourth string first by itself, and then the chord. And then I'm going to pick the fifth string by itself, and then the chord, strum. So I'm going to get this pattern: fourth string, strum, fifth string, strum, fourth string, strum, fifth string, strum. Now you can let the pick come to rest gently on the string under the one that it's picking out, and then strum of it like this. Or you can reset it and strum that same open string again as part of the chord. Either way is correct. And that's about a million songs, just the good old boys, never meaning no harm. So that strum's going to be in most country songs that you play. All the good ones, anyway. All right. We'll leave it at that for now. That is the country strum of the D chord.